All right. We're in our last leg this morning. Today is Tuesday. And so I've got to bring out something that's been on my heart lately, and it's become an issue of criticality. And I generally am very uncomfortable speaking about it. And I am because, to me, it's the wrong topic to have to even raise. But from time to time, it becomes necessary. You know, AVN has been something which has been on the air now for 2 and some change years, approaching our 3rd year. And for the years that we've been on the air, whether it's been on radio only, or then it started, we started streaming it, and then we started making sure there were podcasts out there and so forth and so on, I've pretty much funded it out of my pocket. And the costs have only grown, they haven't shrunk. And after I get done here in the morning, I generally go and take care of all the cleanup, and then I actually go to another job that I have my own business. Some of you know that I have a web development and an internet business. And so I go to that and I attempt to try to make a living. Because of where I am geographically speaking, a lot of the work comes from outside in the other areas of the country, and we do some very, very fine work, but the amount of money that I can earn on a personal level is somewhat limited. And supporting this program and trying to make sure that I'm paying for my own kid to eat is reaching a point where I can't continue to do so. And so I very, very uncomfortably suggest that I need some help from you folks who are listeners, who follow this program on a routine basis. And if you follow it periodically, and you've gained any value from it, then I'm going to ask you to help and contribute and to support it. Because it's gotten to the stage where I can't continue to subsidize it out of my pocket and still be able to take care of my own family. I'm very uncomfortable talking about money with you because I notice that when you see a lot of these different programs out there, many of them involve you either making buying something from them, or they've all got something for sale. I don't sell anything. I don't sell a book. I don't sell, access to some private segment of the website. I've stayed away from products that I would have to endorse because I don't have objectivity if I've got to endorse products or individuals. That's why I don't endorse candidates, for the same reason. If a candidate gets into office, that's great. But if that candidate drops the ball, then I intend to make sure that I am able to hold him accountable and not have anyone say to me, well, you told us to vote for that guy. Right? I mean, you have to have objectivity. And you can't have objectivity if all you're doing is racing around trying to chase down money. I don't think. I don't think it should be about money. I don't think it should be a function of trading money for the news and the information. Because if that is the case, then you lose objectivity. You can't possibly focus on that which, your primary goal is, if I've got to keep interrupting to, make sure that I tout my book. You'll very, very rarely hear me ask for donations from you. I generally mention that there's a way that you can go to our website and you can make a donation from time to time. And there are certainly many of you who have over the years, and I'm extraordinarily grateful to you. But the bills still mount, and they still come every month. And I am going to have to ask you folks to participate and contribute and help us. We are so far up the creek in terms of there's a software package we need that runs about $360. There are physical, requirements that we have that, there are things that I can no longer afford to buy out of my pocket. And over, the last couple of years, we've had people who have stepped up and made some fairly significant support for us. And I know that there are many of you out there who listen to the program very, very regularly, and I'm grateful that you do, and many of you have donated, at one time or another what you can out of your pockets. And I understand that in many cases it's the widow's mite. If you believe in this program and you believe in what we're doing, and you believe that we're making a difference in either your life or maybe in the lives or the minds of someone that you've shared our information with or shared one of our programs with, if I've encouraged you or motivated you in some way to take action, or I've helped to provide you with an inside scoop or view that you hadn't had before, or I've even given you thought to think critically in a way that you hadn't thought before, then I'm going to have to ask you to step up, because I just can't continue to do it. Right now, we're running a negative deficit every month of somewhere close to $1,000. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's a little less, but it's always around $1,000. And I cover that out of my pocket every month, and I have been for years. At some point, I'm going to have to say I can't continuously do that. And I'm willing to do whatever it is I have to do for my country to try to restore it. But at some point in time, I also need those of you who are participating in it to assist us. And so I'm going to ask you to do that. I'm going to give you an address, and I'm going to give you a web address where you can go. We have on our website, which is americasvoicenow.org, you have a link there where you can use a PayPal account, and you can make a one-time donation, or you can be a monthly sponsor. If you can do a monthly sponsorship, that's great. If you can do a one-time donation, that's wonderful. We also have a regular mail address where you can mail a money order or check or what have you. And let me give you both of those methodologies. One is you can go to our website at americasvoicenow.org. That's americasvoicenow.org. The second is, and when you get there, on the right-hand side, there's some places where you can click on a link, and you can either make it a one-time payment or you can do it in a monthly pledge. You don't have to have a PayPal account to use that system, by the way. It's just a means of taking a credit card. And you can use ATM or debit card or a credit card. And you don't have to have a PayPal account specifically. If you have a PayPal account, you can use that. The other way, of course, is you can mail it to us, and I'm going to give you that address. It's America's Voice Now, and that's P.O. Box 1195. It's P.O. Box 1195. And that is in West Plains, 2 words, West Plains. And the zip code there, Missouri, of course. M.O. is the abbreviation for that, like Mo, Larry, and Curly. M.O. And our zip code is 65775. So that's America's Voice Now, P.O. Box 1195. And that's in West Plains, Missouri, 65775. I really am uncomfortable talking about it, but with you guys, because I never want people to think he's selling something or there's something in this for him, because I do take a fairly let me rephrase that. I don't take a fairly conservative position. I take a fairly radical position on where we are and what we need to do. And I don't want people to think that there is some personal motivation in all of this, because I certainly don't get paid. In fact, like I said, it costs me money to run this. There's no personal benefit to doing this program for me. There's certainly no financial benefit. I think those of you who watch this on a routine basis or listen on a routine basis know that I am not gaining some kind of ego boost out of it. Quite frankly, I would love to be able to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning like the rest of you. I would love to be able to not think about this all day, or have to write articles, or have to, be out here talking about this stuff. I want to go back to sleep too, just like the rest of you, and wake up tomorrow morning and it's all going to be rosy and fine, right? I want to see the rainbow. But there has been a driving. I had a friend of mine the other day, and he said, we were talking about this, and I said to him, I'm basically working 2 jobs, and I'm not sure how much longer I can continue to do that physically and emotionally and everything else. And he said, I've never seen anybody who burns the BTUs you do. But no, that's a unique way to look at it. And he's right. I do put a lot into this, and I do because I believe strongly in it, and I believe strongly in the fact that as people do become awake and aware, they need a place to turn where they're not going to be propagandized. They need a place to turn where they're going to actually hear the truth, and not some varnished version of the truth, not some PC version of the truth. When we're talking about the future of our country here, we're talking about life and death. We're talking about the life and death of our republic. We're talking about the literal life and death of our children. And I believe that deserves frank and unvarnished truth. Now, some people may say I don't do it in a polished enough manner. Okay. Some people say, but you're too harsh. Okay. Some people say, well, I find that motivating, or I don't find this motivating. Okay. I'm not perfect, and I can't be perfect to all people. But I do know that I have gotten enough contact from many, many, many people over the years, phone and email and other contacts and in-person meetings, where people have said, you are saying what I want to say because I don't know how to say it, or I don't have the platform, or I'm not articulate enough, or I just can't think fast enough to say it. The reason I called this program America's Voice Now is because I think it does speak for a significant percentage of the country. I think there's a lot of people out there who think the way we do. They just either don't know how to voice it, or they're terrified to voice it, which is maybe more likely, right? Somebody has to be willing to step up and say, I'm gonna voice that which others can't. I'm not a news organization in the traditional sense where I'm going out there and doing investigative reporting. I'd love to do that, but there's just not time to do it. There's no money to do it. There's no resources to do it. And, I've got to, after I get off of here, I've got to race back to my office and try to make a living. I sure don't have the time to pick up the phone and call up Senator so-and-so and say, here's what I heard. Give me your input on it. I'm writing an article about it. I can't even keep up with our website. I'm so busy. I do know that there's a lot of you out there who have really, truly benefited from this program in one way or another. Either, I don't know if physically, but I think that in terms of your mindset, you've benefited from this. And so I'm going to ask you to step up to the plate and help us out. Because we want to be here, we want to be on the air, we want to be continuing the program, but I can't do it alone. And frankly, I shouldn't have to do it alone. At the deficit that I'm at, and I'm not pointing fingers at anybody or anything else, but at the deficit that we're at, it's cost me, you don't even know how much. And I'd be afraid to say so because my wife might be listening. The truth is, there's been a lot of sacrifice that's gone into America's voice. And I would like for you to help us continue continue the program. If you can't do that, and I understand that, times are very, very difficult for everyone. I may make a couple of suggestions. Hold some sort of a fundraiser. There are ways that you can be creative and think outside the box and be a critical thinker and benefit this program with something that ordinarily you weren't thinking about, another format that you weren't thinking about. Maybe holding a fundraiser, maybe holding a garage sale, and now that the spring is getting here, and taking a bunch of junk that's in your garage that you've been wondering about what to do with, and donate the proceeds. Whatever it is, we really could. I can't express to you how badly we need your help. Not without sounding like I'm. I can't express to you verbally how badly we need your help. So if you would be so kind, there's 2 different ways you can accomplish that task. I didn't mean to spend a whole segment on this, but I feel that it's important that we do, because the alternative is that this is not a service that would be available to everybody. And I know there's a lot of people that log on every morning and catch the program, and they're dedicated to it, and they're active listeners. And a lot of you take action based on the stuff that we talk about. You contact your senator or your representative. Okay, you can go to americasvoicenow.org. americasvoicenow.org. You can, there's a PayPal link over there on the website. You can hit that. The alternative, of course, is you can mail us to a P.O. Box, and that is America's Voice Now, and that's P.O. Box 1195, and that's in West Plains, 2 words, West Plains, Missouri. And the zip code here is 65775. If you can help, I'd greatly appreciate it. And I understand if you say you can't. We're all doing the best that we can, and it's not necessarily the easiest place for all of us to be right now, right? Okay. We've got a couple of minutes left. There's a few housekeeping things I want to talk about here, including the Howell County Campaign for Liberty group that meets on Thursday. It's on Thursday. They're going to meet, if you're local and you're in the area. The Campaign for Liberty group is kind of like a libertarian group, and they're heavily involved in property rights as well. They will meet on Thursday, the 20th of March at 7 p.m. They meet in a place called Skillets that's in West Plains, and the address there is on Porter Wagoner Boulevard in West Plains. The phone number, if you need directions, is 417-256-7500. Basically, at 7 o'clock, everybody shows up and they talk about different things that are happening right now in the state and related to state government. And then at 7:30, Terry Hampton will be talking, and she is going to be running for the 8th Congressional District seat against Jason Smith. She's going to be running, I believe, as an independent or a libertarian. I'm not sure which. I think it's independent. And she'll be there to talk about her platform, to describe her intentions and goals for the office, and to answer any questions that anyone may have. So I encourage you to get there if at all possible. Now, next week is the meeting on Thursday night next week for the property rights group in Mountain Grove. And if you can participate in that, that is the Property Rights Coalition organization, and that there's a couple of different things that you should do or know about with that organization. There's a website for it that you can go to called prcnews.org. That's prcnews.org. P like Property Rights Coalition. PRC, Property Rights Coalition. PRCnews, NEWS.org. That particular group is run by Doreen Hannes and Bob Parker, and they work tirelessly for property rights of the folks in the South Central Missouri area. If you do not have a property rights group in your area and you're not geographically based here in Missouri or South Central Missouri, I would encourage you to communicate with either Mike Slack or Bob Parker or one of the individuals who runs one of these property rights coalition groups, and educate yourself about what you can do to start one in your own community. Because I got to tell you, these property rights coalitions and the Libertarian group and things like that, the Constitution Party, these guys have been so effective at getting property rights protected here in the state of Missouri. You would be amazed at how much power they've been able to effectively drive. I'm talking about things like the Blue Ways, where we actually, here's a ragtag group of hillbillies down in the Ozarks who are able to literally put the federal government back on its heels and have them withdraw that Blue Ways project. Wow. Think about that. Talk about a David and Goliath story. Another example is the fight for the Ozark Scenic Riverways property, and to get that property back from the federal government. I mean, who ever heard of the federal government giving property back to the state that they stole it from in the first place? We're on the cusp of working on that, and we think we've got a very, very good shot of actually getting that to happen. All of it is a direct result of these property rights groups who have been out there tirelessly hammering away at our representatives, our state representatives, our federal representatives. These people make a difference, and they're making a difference everywhere in your life, and you don't even know it. So participate in it, because by doing so, you're actually able to enhance their numbers and enhance the effectiveness of these groups, and really make changes in your communities, not only local but your state and then federally. If you have questions about it and you'd like to start a property rights group, I don't have Bob's and Mike Slack's and Doreen's numbers handing in front of me, but I do know that they would be more than willing to talk to you about starting a group. And you can start it, just with a couple of members in your church or something like that, and then kind of expand and grow it. Get a few neighbors together and just hold a meeting. You can hold it in a local diner or something like that, or you can hold it at someone's home, or you can hold it in a local place where, generally they try to hold it at a place where you can have a meal and then, invite people in to talk to you. People who are running for office, your local state representatives who are already in office demanding, hey, tell us what's going on over there. If you want our continued support and we wield power, then you got to come in and report to us, right? So, joining a property rights coalition organization is extremely valuable. prcnews.org. prcnews.org. That's a website where you can learn a lot about it. And if you would like to start one, you can send me a quick email to mike@americasvoicenow.org. That's mike@americasvoicenow.org. And I'll get you a number of someone that you can speak to about what it takes to start one. Bob or Doreen or Mike or Kevin would be happy to speak to you about what you need to do to kick off your own property rights group in your area. What I can tell you is that the larger this project gets and the larger these property rights grow, the more power that we collectively wield. So, okay, please make sure that you do what you can to help and support our programming here. Now, by the way, Doreen Hannes runs a website which is excellent. It's called truthfarmer.com. Truth Farmer, and I would strongly encourage you to get there and take a look at her website. If there is any way that you can see your way clear to being a member of the Constitution Party and running for committee here in Missouri, you only have until March 25th to do that. And I had a meeting or discussion with Doug Enyart in reference to that. If there's any way that you can that you'd like to participate in that, you can go to cpmo.org. That's Constitution Party of Missouri. If you're not from Missouri, CPMO will at least lead you to their national site. Make sure that you are becoming a committee member or a committee man or committee woman in your county for the Constitution Party, because it's how you get an opportunity to make sure that you have a say in who they're going to put up as a candidate. Furthermore, if you're a registered Republican and you don't want to have anything to do with the Constitution Party, but you want to work from within, make sure that you're registering to become a committee woman or a committee man in your county, and get the traitors out of there. If you've got people in your local Republican Party who are not doing right by the community, or they're party hacks, then throw them out. Replace them with people who have integrity and honor and the true best interest of the country at hand. That's what this is about. That's what you need to be doing locally. How do you solve it? One person at a time? You participate. Okay. Thanks for riding with us. Thanks for sticking with me through that segment about what you can do to help AVN. I know it's an uncomfortable spot for me to be in, to have to ask you, and it's perhaps just as uncomfortable for you to have to watch it. So, but if nothing else, I'm blunt, and that's the way it is. God said it should be so, and it is. All right, we're going to wrap for the day. You can find us at americasvoicenow.org. You can find our Facebook page. Please like that. You can do so by going to facebook.com/AmericasVoiceNow, our YouTube channel at youtube.com/AmericasVoiceNow, and our Spreaker channel. If you can hit that like button, once we get to 100, it'll push us out onto iHeartRadio and iTunes, and that would dramatically help us grow our listenership. You can go there by going to Spreaker.com. That's like speaker with an R. Spreaker.com/user/America's Voice Now. Hit the like button, and we need to get to 100, and we're at like 80 or something. We're close. We're close. Hurry up. Get over there. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.